Cowboys history has opted to retire, sources told our Todd Archer. Martin met with owner and general manager Jerry Jones on Thursday to inform him of his decision. Martin was a 9-time Pro Bowler selection in 11 years with the Cowboys and first-team All-Pro pick 7 times, which puts him in some elite company with the Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys lost one key player, but good news, salary cap expanding next season, of which Micah Parsons gave us the LFG when he, quote, tweeted our Dan Graziano. The cap will have increased by more than $53 million over the next 2 years. Okay, so we're going to play a game with Bill Barnwell, Fit the Bill. You're going to give us a 5-step plan for the Dallas Cowboys to fix them. I'm impressed you can do it in 5 steps. So fit the bill, starting with 1. Bill Barnwell, take it away.
Number 1, we are re-signing Micah Parsons. This one is easy. He's one of the best defensive players in football, and we're actually going to reduce his cap hit from $24 million on his 5th-year option when we do re-sign Micah Parsons. You're starting there on the defense. Obviously, he's going to get a big contract, but you want to keep your stars around. Dak, CeeDee Lamb, Micah Parsons are your 3 stars on the defensive side of the football. Number 2, we are moving to add some salary cap space here. We're going to restructure Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb. This is going to create, this is not an exaggeration, this is going to create $60 million in cap space for the Cowboys. Those guys are sticking around. They're your core. Whether Cowboys fans like it or not, Dak Prescott's going to be there for years to come. Add the Micah Parsons restructure. We're looking at probably $65 million in cap space. That's a lot of money to work with, and we're going to need it for steps 3, 4, and 5 in this plan. Step 3 for the Cowboys. We are adding help at receiver. All the moves they've made have not worked, haven't invested much in the draft. Since CeeDee Lamb was taken in the first round, their moves with the veterans. They moved on from Amari Cooper. They traded, or they got rid of a bunch of, Brandon Cooks traded for. They got Michael Gallup and re-signed him. That didn't work. Adding a Deebo Samuel to the mix gives a big body, physicality the Cowboys have not had in their offense in several years. He's tormented the Cowboys himself. Deebo Samuel would be a great addition as the number 2, not the number 1, but the number 2 next to CeeDee Lamb. Number 4, the offensive line needs to be replenished now, especially after Zach Martin was retired. Running back, I know Cowboys want to add a guy. Maybe they draft someone. Rico Dowdle's been good, 12th in rushing yards, 4.6 yards per carry last year. But there's a big hole in that offensive line, which is 27th in spending and cash next year. I would look at Trey Smith, that star Chiefs guard. A plug-and-play replacement for Zach Martin, a big body, a great run blocker in the interior. Cowboys teams have always been good when they have good offensive lines. And then you flip it. Number 5, this is not the sexiest option, but we're looking at the defensive line and that defensive tackle rotation. We're looking at pieces here who are going to help us in short yardage. Last year, the Cowboys were not just the worst red zone defense in football, they were the 4th worst red zone defense of the last decade. That's what happens when you cannot stop the run in short yardage. These are not going to be big names. You're looking at guys like Poona Ford from the Chargers, guys who are going to be big bodies, occasionally make plays on the passing game, but who are going to hold up against the run, the Morgan Foxes of the world. Build that depth, build that defensive line, and get the Cowboys strong on the line of scrimmage to help get them back to where they were at their peak.
Oh, that's it? Okay. 5-step plan.
That's it. We just picked the Cowboys.
All right, well,
That's pick up the whole show.
that's all they have to do.
That's all?
Then I think they're well on their way. D. Wood.
Yeah.
So I would love to get into all 5 of those, but Bill Barnwell did a great job of it.
Yeah.
So maybe add number 6. Like, what do you want to see Jerry Jones do this offseason to get them back into the conversation?
Well, Bill had already referenced it. When the Cowboys were good, they were elite in the trenches. So I would start, how about impending free agent and Trey Smith, the guard from the Kansas City Chiefs? You know, when you look at the Kansas City Chiefs offensive line, it was really the interior that was the elite part of that offensive line. So bringing in a guy like Trey Smith to help fortify the Cowboys' interior, their offensive line, I think will go a long way towards rebuilding and reestablishing a line of scrimmage with the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, because when you look at their heyday recently, and by heyday I mean winning the division, making the playoffs, Zach Martin, who just retired, he was out there. They they always drafted up front.
Yep.
Back in the teens of the 2000s and Jeff Darlington, that made them contenders year in and year out for that division. It just hasn't been that way. So in your mind, how close are the Cowboys to going with the 5-step plan and being contenders?
Nothing about their last off seasons have suggested that they're willing to be that aggressive. So it's more of a show me situation. Don't tell me about it. I mean, like that was a wonderful presentation, but I felt like I was back in the 8th grade history class where like halfway through it, I was like literally looking down at my phone, scrolling. It was wonderful. It was very interesting, but I just realized, oh my God, the Cowboys have a lot to do. Actually, I'm pretty young. The Nokia 5120, that thing was pretty, we're playing Snake on that thing. Listen, Bill, that was amazing. That was wonderful. But my head hurts for the Cowboys. Yeah. Oh, my God. They have a lot to do. They have a lot to do.
See, Jeff Darlington, back when us old guys were in 8th grade, we actually had like an overhead projector where you slide this thing on it, like this plastic slip. And
what about the graphics calculator? Remember the calculator? You could put the games on there and play them too? Anyway,
was that a Texas Instruments?
Anyway,
was that a Texas Instruments TI-82?
No, all right. TI-82.
Yeah, all right. Well, we'll get to the vintage technology in just a minute.
Will be fine.
So we're calling this Freaky Friday because we want things to be crazy this offseason. We want our guys to be crazier than they already are. So Bill Barnwell, give me a crazy move that needs to happen this offseason.
Here's a crazy move. Get Lamar Jackson, the best receiver he's ever had, in Tyreek Hill. The Dolphins, there's been some little bit of drama there. Tyreek Hill says he wants to come back. Also said he wanted to be traded earlier this offseason. Tyreek Hill is a threat they have not had. You want to stretch the safeties, not just with the running game, but with the vertical passing game. Get Tyreek with the Ravens.
What, do you like it, or is this insane asylum?
No, I love it. I love it. I mean, listen, as many bodies that are committed to trying to stop King Henry and Lamar Jackson in the backfield, you got a guy, elite player that can stretch the field. I love it.
All right, Darlington, get weird. Give me another monster trade you want to see go down.
All right, this is symbolic. I don't know if this is exactly what the Chiefs need to do, but go trade for Deebo Samuel. And my point here is go do something on offense that electrifies this unit. You talk about Tyreek Hill. I understand the Chiefs won a Super Bowl and went to a Super Bowl without Tyreek Hill, but they did so by masking a lot of issues through Patrick Mahomes. Make it a little bit easier. They cannot expect to continue to survive every season without adding some weapons. That's not to say that they are not great. Obviously, I'm respecting all that they have done, but just find a way to add a weapon like Deebo Samuel.
Bill Barnwell?
Love it. I mean, Deebo Samuel is the yak god. Last 4 years in ESPN's yak score, first, and second amongst receivers. Chiefs have some good receivers, but not guys who are typically going to make magic happen on their own. Deebo Samuel is the kind of guy who can run away from cornerbacks and run through tackle attempts. The Chiefs don't have that guy, especially with Rashee Rice injured this past season.
Yeah, if you get the Chiefs another weapon, look out again because we don't know Travis Kelce's future. Finally, Damian Woody, it is your chance. I want you to get so crazy it doesn't even...
These type of plays right here, okay, the personal foul on quarterbacks, we got to do something.